Start our introduction. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another great fun-filled spotlight session. Today we have the great Joe Kozoh, one of our veteran agents who've been around the block a bunch of times and can definitely show us a thing or two about what to do in our own businesses. So, no introduction needed. I will let Joe take it away. Joe, the floor is yours.
Okay, I appreciate that, Lawrence. So good morning, everyone, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you guys are all prepared and ready for whatever you do with your family and friends and everything else. It is an interesting time of the year, though, because we look at it sort of the end of the year. We're celebrating the coming up into the new year. We're looking back and reflecting on this past year, looking at some really good stuff, looking at some stuff that you could change or really weren't as happy, but you're still energetic because it's a new year. Interesting enough, as I was kind of putting some notes together for today, January 1st, it's another day. It's real estate doesn't change. It doesn't like, okay, the 31st is here, we're done. January 1st starts a whole new real estate career. No, January 1st is no different than tomorrow, other than it's a date on the calendar. It always amazes me how people say, well, I'm going to change on January 1st. It's in real estate, it doesn't change. It's not like, okay, we all start basically at zero, but we're all starting at zero every morning you get up. So from that standpoint, January 1st is another day. So I thought it was interesting how people really think of it like, oh, I can't, I'll wait, I'll just relax for another couple of weeks or so. Hey, you know what? Quite frankly, January 1st is just another day. But so anyway, Lawrence and I talked about the topic for today. He called me up earlier in the week and I said, well, what do you want me to talk about? And we discussed a few things and bounced some ideas off of each other in reference to a good topic. And the topic that we chose, I thought was a great topic, is your business um, is your business built for 2025? Now, after we discussed it, wasn't like, is your business ready for 2025? Are you prepared for 2025? It's none of that stuff. Is your business built for 2025? Now, I know what that means to me. I know what it means to Lawrence, but what does that mean for you guys? What does it mean by when I say your business, is it built for 2025? You guys could speak up, which means you have to unmute yourself.
Do you
And
have
I'll give
things in
2,000.
place that will have your business being successful? Like, I guess, setting up, those things in, what is it called? Command, one of
Okay.
the things that
Okay.
can help you
Okay. Okay. That's part of it. Yep. I agree with you.
have your
What else?
contact list.
Okay. Good. So that's getting things set up that way. What else? What is it? When I say built for 2025, what is that? Doesn't that indicate you have to know what 20, you have to be a prognosticator? It's funny, I looked up the word just to make sure if I spoke about it, I was actually being accurate about it. Matter of fact, thank God for Google because I couldn't spell prognosticator. Okay. But what is a prognosticator? How's that defined?
Knows the future?
Knows
Can
the
tell the
future.
future?
Great. Jennifer, you're getting $5,000 already. Expect your bank account by 5 o'clock today. Okay. Um, so someone who could predict the future, but honestly, guys, do we have a crystal ball? Can we really predict the future? We can't. We can't. You can't predict the future. But what I mean is your business built for 2025, which means can you predict what 2025 looks like? So that's my question to you. What percentage of accuracy can you predict what 2025 looks like? In your best guess. What percentage of accuracy can you predict what 2025 is going to look like?
Zero.
I'd say it's low percentage, but I'd say at least maybe 25% that could
Okay.
50%. You should kind of know, I'd say
Okay.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Do you know what the market looks like today? You
That's
better all say yes. Okay.
yes.
You know what the market looks like today. Did you know what the market looked like yesterday?
Yes.
So taking my concept of January 1st, it's just another day. That's only
Hmm.
what, 20 days, 10 days away, whatever it might be. 10 days away. So what's going to change in the next 10 days? What's going to really change in the, oh, it's Christmas, it's New Year's and everything else. Yeah, I get that. What in real estate is going to change in the next day? Probably not a whole lot. Probably not a whole lot. Can you predict what the spring market looks like? Well, you can't make a 100% accuracy prediction of the spring market, but can you make a relatively close prediction of the spring market? I could. I've been doing it for 29 years, and I probably could tell you January, February is all a little slow. It's the holidays, people coming off of that, people not thinking about selling or listing homes because the spring market to them is not January, February as it is to us. The spring market to them is more March, April, or May. That's the spring market to them. Okay. Buyers tend to put things on the back burner a little bit because the inventory is not there. So I could predict, I'd say within 75% or 80% of what the market's going to look like in the next 3 months. Because really, the next 3 months is really 10 days from now. Okay. So if I'm talking about building my business for the 2025 year, I'm looking at, okay, well, what's the market going to look like? So if I make a prediction for 2025, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't make a 100% prediction. Okay. Here's a question to you guys. Do you see interest rates going down to 5% this year, 2025? Can you predict that? You can't predict it. Probably not going to happen. Not going down to 5%. If it happens, there's going to be some major changes of which we are all out of control on, which can happen. Hey, this world is a crazy world. We can be in a war at some point in time, or something major can happen in our country, the world could change. We have no control. COVID, perfect example. COVID can happen. Okay. Hopefully it never happens again. Okay. So, but I feel I can make a prediction for 2025 relatively close to 75, maybe 80%, which helps me set up my business to build my business for 2025. Now I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, so what are the challenges we've had and still have right now in the real estate market? Give me two or three of them. What challenges have we had?
Low inventories.
Low inventory. Good. What else?
Interest rates.
Interest rates. Great. What else? I'm telling you, Jennifer, you're up to $8,000 already. I'm telling you, man. Um,
um,
Low inventory, interest rates, plenty of buyers.
Plenty
Okay,
of
plenty of
buyers,
buyers.
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
plenty of buyers. What about the challenges in reference to, have we had a big foreclosure market?
No.
Yes or no? No, no, we haven't. So could you accurately say we're going to have a big foreclosure market for 2025? Probably
No.
not. What else are we seeing from a real estate agent count perspective? Now, we've had a tough year for last year for a lot of agents. It's been
Hmm.
challenging, but I mean by tough. Okay. Are agents staying in the business or going out
No.
of the business? Okay. So, what does that tell you? If you had to predict the future, what does that tell you? We might have less real estate agents out there.
Hmm.
Hey, Pinky, you took a shower. You look great. Wow. See that? I didn't. Are those the same pajamas you were wearing before, Pinky? So, I love picking on Deepak. I love that guy. I'll hug him every time I see him. Um, so my thing for you guys is that the market has its challenges that we're aware of that we can basically move into 2025. Is your business built for that? So if one of the challenges continues to be low inventory, my question to you guys, is your business built for that low inventory? And not a matter of just like, okay, I'm going to go and get listings, but are you doing things that really makes a difference in what kind of market that we're in? Okay. Are you doing the basics and fundamentals to get to that challenging market that we predict we're going to be in? Are you going after the foreclosure market if the foreclosures are not there? No, that makes no sense. Why would you do that? Are you going after FISBOs? Well, that doesn't make sense because they're not a whole lot out there and they are selling pretty quick. So I look at it based on my predictions on how I'm going to build my business. Right now, I'm predicting it's going to be a tight inventory market like we've had, but it's probably going to be a little bit more inventory than we've seen in the past. A little bit more inventory. I am anticipating because of the new current presidential administration coming in, is the rate's going to drop to what, to 5%? No, but I think maybe to around six, the low sixes. Okay, that's my prediction, which tells me that's going to open up the door for more listings, which means I'm going to get more aggressive with my contacts. Now, preparing to build your business for 2025 happens in 2024, 2023. Okay. So all the activities that you might have had with sellers and you're staying in touch with them, you're sending a postcard and no card. It's been a year, they've not done anything. I say, don't stop. Don't stop. If you picked them up as an old expired and there was something there, continue, get more aggressive to that. I'm going to build my business now to get more aggressive to going after that person than I ever have before because I've built up a relationship and, for a year or two and they're not ready, because the market's different. But now, potentially 75% that the market's going to change a little bit and it might open up a door of opportunity. Okay. I've been speaking to a lot of people saying, Joe, it's been a rough year. I'm not going to sell my home. But now they're getting to the point of thinking about it. For me to stop marketing myself, I'm going to miss that opportunity. So I'm going to build my business around getting more aggressive to those people. Okay. That's what I'm looking at doing for now. Before you can build your business, though, you need to understand where you're going. Okay. And I don't want to make this a big session about goal setting. I really don't. Okay. But if I use this example, and I've done this before, if I want to set a goal, so Lawrence, want to play with me? No, Jennifer, play along with me, okay? Okay. So it means you have to unmute yourself. So here's the deal, Jennifer. I want to go on vacation in 2025. I need to go on vacation. I need you to help me to go on vacation. I want you to ask me some questions that help you to help me go on vacation. So ask me questions.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know.
How much do you need to spend? What's your budget?
I don't know. Come on. There's more questions in there.
Um,
Did you say when do I want to go? Is that what your
no.
question was? Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Who are you traveling with?
I don't know.
What do you like to do?
I don't know. Okay. Come on. I thought you guys were gonna help me.
What time of year do you want to travel?
I don't know.
What
I don't know.
country do you want to go to?
I don't know, Lawrence. I don't know. I don't know. So, here's my point, guys.
Joe,
So let me try.
Joe, let me try.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Joe, you mentioned that you wanted to go on vacation on 2025.
All right.
Out of the places that I can probably suggest to you, let me know which one might just be the trigger for you. What about
Okay.
what about a beach vacation? What about a hunting vacation? What
Okay.
about what of those is more appealing to you?
Okay. Good. Good. So that's more specific in your questions. I appreciate that part of it. Here's my point to this whole thing. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? And how are you going to know when you
Mm.
get there? Okay. If you don't know what you want to get accomplished for 2025, how are you going to know you achieved your goal? How do you know that? Right. So, because I mean, all day long, I could say, yeah, I want to go. Okay. If I said to you guys, I want to go to Hawaii. Okay. Great. And Jennifer asked me, okay, how much you want to spend? I say, well, $8,000. Great. Do you want to take a cruise? Do you want to fly? How do you want to get there? So you could be specific about that. But see, then I'll know that if we break it down to, I want to go in June of this coming year, and I'm going to take a cruise. I'm going to spend X amount of dollars. And when I go on my cruise, I know I've achieved my goal to getting there. But see, if you look at your real estate business and you say, I don't really know what I want to do from a number of different standpoints. I don't know how much money I want to make. I don't know how much time. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break some things down into what I'm already doing right now. And I've done it every year, for quite some time. Okay. First thing I'm going to start to look at is, what does my schedule look like? I'm gonna look at what schedule do I want to have work wise. Now, if you're a dual career agent and you're part time, you're full time, whatever. What does your schedule look like? And the first thing in scheduling your time for real estate is the what? What do you schedule first? What's the first thing should go in your schedule?
All
Simple.
your important family stuff.
Okay, personal stuff. Your
Mm.
time off, your
Mm.
vacation time, your personal time with family, whatever it's going to be. Make sure you put in your schedule your personal time in. And then I start to say, well, in my schedule, how many hours do I plan on working every week? We don't have to work these crazy 90-hour work weeks. You could if you want. I think they're stupid, but I'm well past that point in my life. If you looked over my right shoulder, you'll see a golf course right here. Okay. And if I have an opportunity, I played golf last Tuesday. No, Thursday was it? It was nice. It was what's the no? I played Tuesday. Yeah, this past Tuesday. Went out played with one of my neighbors here. We played a nice round of 18 holes. It was 50, 55 degrees. Great. I could do that because I know I have that time off. So the first thing you need to do in your schedule is time block your personal time, your vacation time. Do that for the year. Don't just do it for the week. There's certain things you do in the course of every day in real estate, you should always have it in there. And if yours is to be on this spotlight session every Friday, put it in your damn schedule if you think it's beneficial. If it's not beneficial, then don't. Okay. If it's not beneficial, you better talk to Lawrence. Okay. So time block your schedule a little bit. Understand what you're doing in real estate and get very, very specific with it. And it's a hard thing to do. It's hard to adhere to a schedule. But I'm telling you right now, if you're preparing to build your business for 2025, base it around what 2025 is going to look like and what should your schedule be to make sure that you're achieving those goals that you set for yourself. Okay. Because if you don't have a schedule in there, then you're just winging it. Okay. You can't wing it in this business. Okay. And before you know it, you spend 2 weeks and you're not in real estate and you wonder why you have no money 2 months from now. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. So, second, and what I always tell you this is what Gary Keller said for years. What business are you in? You're in the lead generation business. No leads, no business. Get the hell out. Just telling you right now, get the hell out because it's that simple, guys. You have to look at what are you doing from a lead generation standpoint. Now, from that standpoint, basing it on the 2025 prediction of what's going to happen, what is your lead generation going to be like? So if you're going to say, hey Joe, I'm going to all in for foreclosures for 2025. If your prediction is that probably not going to be many foreclosures, there'll probably be more this year than there have been last year. And surprisingly enough, there's a lot of foreclosures out there, but not to the extent we've had. Well, why would you build your business in lead generation areas and spend money for leads for foreclosures and spend time on it if it's really not going to be part of your business? So that to me wouldn't be building into my time for lead generation for foreclosures. Now I might look at it like, hey, your number one thing should be building your business for 2025 to all those people that you know already, your family, your friends, your neighbors, everybody that you know. Okay. And part of that, like I said earlier, is building your business is not happening like right now. Okay, I'm going to build my business for 2025. It's what did you do for 2024 to build your business in 2025? So since I've been in a leadership role for like 12, 13 years, this past year has been my full year now being in real estate sales again after doing this for quite some time. So I established 4 different farm areas. Okay, that's a big thing with me. Two of them are one is where I live, and one of them is surrounding me. Okay, and I have 2 other farm areas that I start to mark to. Okay, one of them is an absentee owner farm. Okay, it's basically not a geographical farm. Okay, it's a sociographic farm. Okay, so it's those people, and one of them's in Reddington. So I have 4 different farm areas I'm marketing to. But I know I wasn't going to get instant results from my farm, but building it up for 2025 is saying there's a more likelihood now because I've established a relationship, I'll get more business in 2025 as a result of it. So I'm even going to ramp up my farming a little bit more because that's part of my lead generation activities is to ramp up my farm and get more business. And I tell you, for an example, Pinky and Deepak do an amazing job with their farming. They've been doing it for years. They just start farming today and all of a sudden getting lead after lead after lead because they spend a lot of time on it too. So you need to build in your time for lead generation. Now, I will tell you this, if I am not doing anything for the day, I have nothing on my schedule for today. Now, I have a couple things going on. I'm spending at least 3 hours a day in lead generation. That's my thing, at least 3 hours. If I got nothing going all day, I'm spending 8 hours in lead generation. Okay. And my lead gen is based on a whole different factors based on what I feel I could generate business from. I've been focusing a lot on old expireds and old withdrawn properties that were withdrawn anywhere between 2015 and 2020. Okay. I spent the last year building up a relationship with them. And if I show you how many people I have, Lawrence, can you share can I share? Can you give me sharing ability for this?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay. All right. So let's see if I can get to the right thing here. So, um, can you see my screen? Did my screen change? Yes. Okay. All right. So basically, right now, this is KW Command. If you're not familiar with KW Command, get familiar or use your whatever CRM you're using. Okay, these are my smart plans I have in there. Okay, and if I look at, let me scroll down here. These are all smart plans. Okay, absentee owners and that. Okay, I've eliminated that. Okay, so right now I have these are postcards mailers to just old expireds. There's 474 people in the smart plan right now, and that's smart plan. Okay. Let's get to old expireds here. Old expireds, I have 130 people, old expireds at mark. So I'm marketing to over 600 people, almost 600 people so far, just in old expireds. My contact list of customer base for my lead generation for 2025, I have 160 people I have that are religious. I mean, religious and they know me. I market to them on a consistent basis. So I'm using those people as a result. Now I have pre-foreclosures, 141 people in my pre-foreclosure list right now. So I mean, I'm marketing to comfortably 1,500 people on a consistent basis. They're getting an email, a text message, a phone call, a video, postcard, a note card, whatever it might be in my smart plan. So for me, it's staying very, very consistent with my smart plan. That's my lead generation activities because, again, if I'm billing in my time and I'm preparing for 2025 and I know what I'm doing here, a lot of this is automated. I'm spending my time understanding what my lead generation activities are, who I'm attacking. I'm going after my database right now, old expireds. I'm doing some pre-foreclosures. Okay, doing very little in foreclosures and expireds. To be honest with you. Okay, so my buyers I have 36 warm buyer leads right now. Okay, here's a key thing too. At the very bottom of my screen, if you can still see it, it says monthly neighborhood nurture. I have 701 people. They're going to get one piece for me every month. That's on monthly nurture, and I have 226 people get 2 pieces per month, just automatic. Okay, so it's just putting me in front of people. My thing is, guys, I'm preparing by 2025, but what I've set up for 2024, and which you should be setting up if you don't already for moving into 2025, based on those lead generation sources that I think are best suited for me for what I do. in my farm and everything else. Okay, so I'm looking at it from that perspective, and that's what I'm looking at, building into my schedule, looking into my lead generation activities, moving into 2025 based around that. Now, as an example, I am right now looking at from a buyer standpoint. I think we're going to have a bigger open market for buyers as we move forward, because a lot of buyers, they weren't buying in September, October. I don't know if you've noticed that. A lot less buyers out there than I've ever seen. I've had open houses in September, October, November with only like a handful of people. I'm like, geez, and good properties too. So I feel that the buyers were waiting to see what happened in this political market that we've had. And now they're saying, well, maybe I'm going to get some money, maybe I'm not, and maybe the rates will drop. I think there's going to be a lot more buyers out there than you can imagine. And I think a lot of agents had poo-poo buyers. I'm tired with buyers. This buyer agency thing, it's a bunch of crap. I get that, blah, blah. I'm okay with that. Good. You take that approach, because every buyer that comes into my door, I want them. Okay. So what I did as part of my plan, part of my strategies, I'm connected with a particular mortgage company right now. We're doing some cross marketing. We're using what's called the New Jersey Grant Assistance Program. It's the NJHMFA program for first-time home buyers. So if you're not familiar with that, get familiar with it. Okay. We're doing some cross marketing, and we're starting in January, and we're doing postcards to an EDDM area. Okay, that has I think 77% are renters. Okay, first-time renters, where the minimal rent is 25, I think $2,800 moving forward. That's someone that's renting at 25, 28, and 3,000 more. They can afford to buy a home. If you're paying $3,000 a month in rent and you don't have the money, and you go into a program like this, okay. So my plan is this: as part of my strategy is to spend some money for this. We have 4 different types of postcards going out in January, February, March, and April, and see how that responds. It's something new I'm doing, something I'm doing differently for myself. Okay, so I'm looking at that as part of my opportunity. Okay. So that's about lead generation. What you do based on what you think the market's going to be like is going to be important. I feel it's going to be a great market for buyers. I also picked up with another program. It's called Kozoh. It's basically, they're giving me basically 2 leads a day from this. Now, we've only not converted any, but I've only been doing it for about 60 days so far. I'm willing to give that a shot. It's because I feel I'm getting very accurate information, phone numbers, emails, names. So I'm trying that out, because most of them are buyers, but there's a small percentage of sellers in there too. So that's all part of my lead generation. That's the thing. Get the schedule going. Do your lead generation. Now, here's the key thing, guys. All this sounds great, but what kind of budget do you have? That's another thing. If I'm looking at predicting 2025, let's see if I get out of here. So share, stop share. Okay.
Can I
So if
interrupt
I'm
real
looking,
quick?
what's that?
I said, can I interrupt real quick about the
Sure. Yep.
Kazoo app?
Absolutely.
I think I've got like some. I think they've called me before. It's how much is it a month?
Um, Well, I negotiated for something that was about 250 a month, but I basically got 6 months out of it for 250. So they were actually offering it was roughly about just under 250 per month. And so what I did is I gave it a shot, and I went back to him. I said, "It sounds like a good program. I'm intrigued by it, by the accuracy of the information. We haven't converted anybody, and I negotiated for 6 months at the same 250 a month. So I'm paying $740, I think it is, for 6 months. Okay. To me, it seemed worth it. It seemed worth it. I'm willing to spend money on trying certain things, but I'm also looking at the return on my investment. Okay. Which leads me to my next point. So that's a good question, by the way. So from a budget standpoint, I budget every year. I set up my budget. It's in a simple Excel spreadsheet. I don't complicate this. You can do it so many different ways. But understanding your budget, and you need to understand, well, if you're going to do lead generation, some of that's going to be at no cost to you. Some of it's going to have a cost. And if you're looking at a cost to you, then you have to really analyze, is it really getting the return on your investment or not? See, I pay for Land Voice. Okay. Land Voice gets me leads for FSBOs, expires, and pre-foreclosures. I paid, I could tell you how much I spent for Land Voice right now. Every quarter, Land Voice, next page, I think it's 347. Land Voice is 527 every quarter. So that's for every 3 months, or whatever 3 divided by 527 is, roughly what, $175. Okay. So I spend that for Land Voice, but I get these leads all the time. And I've found that Land Voice, the return on investment on that is far less now this past year. I'm not going to dump Land Voice, because I have some pretty good other resources there that I use. Okay. So, but I do have a budget established. And again, I do it on a simple Excel spreadsheet. You don't need to be as complicated as me, or you can be more complicated to me. I'm not a big numbers guy. Okay. But here's what I'll tell you, what my budget was for 2024, okay? I budgeted $4,515 per month. That was my budget, okay? I knew that I was getting a little bit kind of overly too much money there. I knew I wanted to work on cutting back on it. So part of my goal after the first 3 months was cut back on my budget. And right now I'm averaging my budget as opposed to 45.15 is 38.37. So I spend $3,837 per month on my budget. And it goes to everything. My cell phone, my entertaining, smoke detector costs, office supplies, office equipment. It goes for my core association realtor, my REBI designations, KW fees, like everything soup to nuts. It goes to my marketing, my reminder media, my postcards, postage, business cards, everything soup to nuts, invoice, bomb, and all these things I spend money and then outside sources. So I know what my budget is. Now this year, right now I'm on track, let's see, for about 42,000 is where I'm at. I have 1 month left, okay? This year for 2025, so far, and I'm still isolating this, I want to cut my budget by 15%, and I want to get a better return on my money. Okay. So I'm looking at ways to cut my budget. It is tough. It is tough, so, but I'm looking at it from being prepared for 2025. I want to do all these things. I want to make more money. I want to net more money in my pocket. So I'm preparing 2025 by saying I'm cutting my budget. See, if I feel I can get 15% off my budget, and then it turns out I only got 5% off, but I show a greater return. Hey, I'm happy as a pig and poop. Okay. Pig and poop. I love that one. Okay. You can't say the word S, but so I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what does your budget look like? And because if you're preparing for 2025 and you're preparing your schedule and you've got your lead generation, you need to spend some money, right? You need to spend some money. Now, what that could be, your budget could be $2,000 a month. I don't care. As long as you have a budget and understanding it, because you're running a business here, guys, a real estate business. You're not in sales. If you think you're in sales, get the hell out of business right now. You're not in sales. You're running a business. Okay. It's that simple. Everybody thinks, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in real estate sales. I never say that. I never say that. It's not my tagline too. So I look at it from that standpoint. So I'm looking at a schedule, lead generation. I got a budget. I'm preparing for 2025. My business is being built for 2025 based on maybe more buyer leads, which also gets me more opportunities to visionary title, which I think is a benefit in itself. Okay. I'm also looking at it from the standpoint of education. Okay. Training. Now, I don't know how many people went down Atlantic City. I mean, I know I was there. Deepak was there. Pinky was down there. Atlantic City is a simple little thing. It's just a 2-3 days down Atlantic City. But what are you doing in the course of a year to be at training? Are you going to be in these sessions on a consistent basis? Are you putting that in your time block schedule for that? Are you taking a designation that makes a difference? If you're building your business for 2025 and you're going to be focusing on buyers, did you do an ABR designation? I would. Okay, I'd suggest you do that. If that's where your business is being built, then you do those type of things. What classes, what education, what training are you doing on a consistent basis that's going to help you continue to build your business and hit the goals that you achieve for yourself? Because I find most agents, really, for the most part, they won't go to any training. Let's see, April 30th is right around the corner. What's April 30th? What is April 30th? You need to have all what done by April 30th? All your continuing ed.
All your
Continuing
CE.
educations.
Yep. All your CEs need to be done by then. I tell you, you need 12 to meet 12 designations or 12 CEs as a joke. I personally think our industry should make it more like 30 or 40 or 50. One, let's get the dead wood out. Okay. Opens up the door for me. Two, it makes us a better trained and educated industry, which I think is huge. Okay. Three, I don't know if there's a three in there. I'll make up a three because Joe Kozoh said so. How about that? Okay. So that'll be the third. Okay. So my point to you guys is this: take some education and training, put it in your schedule, go somewhere. If it's going to family reunion, if it's going to Atlantic City, if it's getting a designation, geez, Raj did all those ABR classes at no cost. I mean, no cost. And if you didn't go to that, there better be a pretty darn good reason. Better be a pretty darn good reason. You weren't available, whatever it might be, because that's a huge, huge opportunity, So, but especially building in 2025, because one of the other challenges we have is the buyer agency agreement with people. If you know how to do this and other agents don't, you could be really further ahead of the game too. Next, I say, so if I'm building my business, what are my systems? What are my systems in place? Do you use a CRM? Are you using Command? Are you using, I think, Pinky Deepak, you guys were using Wise Agent, is that correct?
Follow-up boss.
Oh, follow. Okay, it's follow us. Okay, so I don't care what you use. Like I said earlier, as long as you use a system that makes sense for you. What does your technology look like? Okay, from a system standpoint, do you have things in place? Do you have a smart plan, whatever it might be? Are those things all in place for you? Okay, because it makes it a lot easier when you have a system for things. Okay, it's a lot easier for me to put people on a monthly or bi-monthly nurture, knowing they're getting at least one something from me every month. Okay, it's a lot easier for me to put them in a smart plan to know they're getting a postcard, an email, a phone call, or what, on a consistent basis, the special things I'll spend time on. So what are the systems you have in place that will be built around your goal for 2025 that's going to build your business for 2025? If you have the right systems in place, you'll do the right things and your business will grow that much more. Again,
Joe,
it's
quick
about building
question.
your system for the market that we're going to be in that's based around what you want to get accomplished. Okay. Last I'm talking about is leverage. Okay.
Joe, quick
Um,
question before you jump into that.
yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Out of that budget that you were mentioning, on the postcards section itself,
Right.
what the percentage is, or how much is that out of the whatever
So
30 right now you said 3,800. It's probably close to 40,000 a year. How much is that as postcards?
So right now, year to date, I've spent on postcards 5,685 year to date. Okay. That's going to increase. That's an area I'm going to increase. You know why? Because I do a lot of handwritten note cards, and I don't handwrite them, run them through my printer and everything else. But I put a regular stamp on it. And I think the difference in the stamp's like 20 cents from a postcard stamp, and to this. So I do a lot of one-offs. Okay, what I mean by one-off, if it's an old expired and it comes up on a smart plan, it's the time to send them. Like I just sent out, I think 20 of them handwritten the address on them for the one-offs on postcards because I could put a stamp that's 20 cents less on that. Okay, now for my geographical farm, I'll just have those done by a company. I have a Reminder Meter as one of the companies. Express Copy is another company. I'll just have those done because I have the addresses and everything else. So right now I'm looking at I spent 56.85 on postcards. I'm probably going to increase that a little bit more, but decrease the note cards. All right, does that help out?
Yeah, can you
Okay.
say again who you use for your postcards, not your handwritten ones, the like the automated ones?
So I use Reminder Media. They also do the lifestyle magazine. And I like them because their quality is better and they're less expensive. What I found, you can go cheap. Like I'll do some every door direct stuff, but I'll have them printed through Reminder Media because I'm getting them pretty cheap there too. ExpressCopy.com is another company, but I found at Express Copy the prices were getting jacked up a little bit more. And there are a lot of cheaper companies out there. I'm sure of it. I haven't researched them all. But I'd say those are the two companies I use primarily. You could do real mailers right through KW Command, which I tried them a few times, and you could say, I don't know, other people doing stuff through Canva and then sending them up for print and everything else. But I just find that those are two companies that I'm comfortable with, and I might pay a little bit more for those, but I know how to work with those companies pretty comfortably. Okay. Yeah.
Can
So
I make one comment, Joe, which
yeah,
I learned from you is like when you're talking about budgeting, is like also revising your subscription to unsubscribe it,
yeah,
which is a huge help. I do it periodically, um, probably especially at the end of the year, and I just did it today morning. And we're always surprised that, we subscribe to so many subscriptions and all those things. And I happen to find that, oh, I subscribed at $20 a month, and then and they're charging me $99 a month later. I don't know when and how, and then all those things happen. And sometimes the subscription we don't end up using, there's no ROI. So
right.
doing that really helps your curtailing your money budgets.
I think I couldn't agree more. I do trial and error. There was something I did not too long ago. It was a year ago. I know what it was. It was for oh geez, what was it called now? Equator for foreclosures. Okay. And I had a property that I had listed that was a foreclosure, and I had to join Equator. Now I've not done a foreclosure in these years. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a short sale. It was a short sale. So I had
Mhm.
not done short sales since 2010, 11, whatever. Then I became in a leadership role. But anyway, so I had to join Equator, and it cost me. I can tell you what it cost me. Equator it was $499. Cost me $499 last year to join Equator. Great. I got the property in the market, got it sold, and everything else, and no interest to rejoin Equator. I didn't think I was going to be doing a short sale. As of September, I missed it altogether. $499 to hit my credit card. It's like
Oh.
son of a b, So $500, $500. And I tried calling him, getting it back. You can't talk to anybody. There's nobody to talk to. So I'm eating it right now. It's in my schedule right now in my calendar for I'd say July or August. Said July or August, I'm canceling it. So I'm already in it for the $500. So it's in my calendar to cancel Equator at that point. So but your point is well taken, Vicky.
Yeah.
It's $500 lost. It really is.
It always
So
happens. Like we always think like, oh, so easy. Like, we are attending a class, a seminar, conference. They give you such a like shiny petal that, oh, like let's try it, and then we forget it because at that moment we are bombarded with so many like deals and nice packaged
right,
things.
right,
And once we get back home and we forget it in our daily business or daily
right.
show, and we forget it, and it's very tricky.
My
So
my my thing with Kazoo as an example, I think I have to look at my calendar. I think it's April 13th or May 13th, something like that. If I don't, I have to give them a 24-hour notice to renew. And if I look back in now 6 months of that and I have no return on my investment, it's in my calendar probably a week before I'll just cancel it because I run into that too. It's a lost $500 on Equator. It's $500 I can put somewhere else. So but
so
the last part I was talking about is leverage. I know we're getting late here, but I apologize. Is that you can't do everything in this business. You simply can't. That's great. Joe, I got a listing. I'm going to take my own pictures. I guess that's okay. Some smaller properties, I'll take my own pictures and they're fine. But are you better off hiring the right people to do stuff? And I'll tell you as an example. Now you have to talk to Raj about all this stuff, but I'll use IO for data entry. That's the India office. Okay. I had using land voice to come up with pre-foreclosures, and I had about I'm say roughly 150 pre-foreclosures in there from a 3 or 4 month period. So what I did is I got the information to IO. IO basically put it all they put it into command for me, had all structured. I had already set up the smart plan. So once they hit as a pre-foreclosure, smart plan automatically starts, so all that stuff just happens automatically. But for me to do that, it would have taken me hours and hours and hours. I'm not very nimble typing in names or cut and paste, whatever it might be. So they have done it for me at no cost to me. I just leveraged IO, and that's just an example. I don't use them for everything. Okay. But it's great because I just connected with them. I had them do a small set first. I make sure it was okay, looked good. I made some tweaks and changes. And then he went in and finished it all for me. Okay. It just saved me, I'd say maybe 8, 10, 12 hours,
Joe, is
leveraging
that
that. So
is that coming from a spreadsheet on Excel that you transferred to them, or this is just one by one?
yeah. So what I do is I take it from land voice and basically I put it into a CSV or a spreadsheet. No, I'm sorry. I don't even do that for them. They go onto my land voice account. Okay. They pull the information and then they go and they decipher it too. They do all the extra homework to make sure that the people are still there, whatever it might be. Because some of them are really, some of them are like corporations, some LLC, and I don't need that, So, and I just go through and I clean them up a little bit to make sure they're good. But my point to this is leverage. Leverage. Are you using other people? Are you using systems, models to really save yourself some time? Because guys, we get eaten up in our time all the time. We're just going here, going there, and everything else. At the end of the day, you're not doing anything. But leverage your time to other people or other systems or whatever, because I think that's a key in our business. If your schedule is to work a 40-hour work week in real estate, and you're getting tied down by putting data entry in there, what's the value of data entry? I mean, that's a $10 an hour work job. I like to think I'm worth more than $10 an hour. I mean, I like to think that, sometimes at the end of the day, you look at it and you go, holy crap, did I spend a lot of time on that? So maybe not as much, but my point is that, leverage people, leverage systems so that you can maximize your time. Because really, what's your main goal? Working with buyers and sellers and investors. So that's what you should be doing. Lead generation, working with buyers and sellers and investors on that are A quality. Okay. But if you use leverage as an example to prepare yourself to build your business for 2025, find ways. What am I doing today in that my goal, building my business this way? I know that I can't do this and I can't do this. I'm going to find people to do that. Some of it might have a cost. I mean, I use Fiverr for a couple different projects, things that I want done. So Fiverr is a very good resource. They've designed a couple websites for me. So again, for whatever to $200, $300, I would get charged for them. So I think it's worth it from a leverage standpoint. If you're not in position to hire an administrative assistant, find someone that can do it for you at no cost. So, but so that's kind of what my shtick is here. It's what almost 10, 15, in reference to building your business. Is it built for 2025? Is there any questions that you guys have? Is this sort of helpful for you guys, or am I just,
Very, very helpful. This
Very
has been
helpful.
so
It's a
secretly
good.
I had you do this spotlight session because I needed a mentor session from you. So I figured it's kill two birds with one stone.
there you go. There you go. Yeah,
So
that's good.
I got all my notes for the year right here, so I'm ready to
Okay.
go.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I think really, and all the stuff I'm talking about, these are all business concepts. There's nothing complicated about this. It really isn't. And was it easy to put your budget together? Is it easy to do lead generation? I know when I'm done here, I'm going to spend 2 hours working on some pre-foreclosures. These are people I just really need to add some additional information in there. So then I have to leave about 11:30 for a 12 o'clock appointment. So and that's where I'm at too. So for you guys, I hopefully it really works out for you guys. If there's any questions
So I
you
have a
have,
question.
good.
On that gathering info from anybody in particular. We met in the street, and we exchanged pleasantries and hey, what you doing and what you do, and how you gather that information, that initial information that then will complete the command. Meaning that at times it's difficult just to even gather a phone number from somebody, or probably first name, last name, even worse, an address. So
Mhm.
how you handle that. I don't want to call it an objection, but how you just end up there.
Yeah, and and really the key thing with that is that every conversation is different. Okay, one could be a little more friendly, they're eager to give you information. Okay, sometimes they're a little bit more standoffish. If they're standoffish, I'm not going to push that envelope too much. I'm not going to, oh, come on, give me your name, give me your number, give me a, what I might say to them, hey, so if I get their name and let's say it's John Smithstein or whatever, so but hey, where do you guys live at? Oh, I live in Somerville. Great, that's awesome. How long you been there? Huh? Have that conversation with them. I love that. And if you could find out what their motivation is and find out how you can help them with that motivation. So let's say, well, my wife and I are thinking about downsizing. We want to be in a 55 and over. Hey, that's awesome. So when do you think that's going to happen? I don't know, but I don't want to be bothered by that too much. Hey, not a problem. You know what? I'll tell you, I have a system right now that pulls all 55 and overs every time there's a property comes on the market. I'd love to send it to you. You could take a look at it. If it's something you're interested in, let me know. But it's just that as opposed to you going on Zillow getting misinformation, you're getting it directly from the horse's mouth. Me, would you be open to that? And if they say yes, great. All I need is, I'll ask, which email would you like me to send this to? Now, if they gave me an email address and they're hesitant to give me a phone number, but I know the Smithsteins live in Somerville, I'm going to go into Remind, okay, and I'm going to pull up Smithstein. I'm going to do my tax search first. Oh, I see they live on North Alton Avenue. Great. Go into Remind. I could probably get within 50, 60% accuracy a phone number and maybe even verify their email address. Now I'm going to put them into my database. Smithsteins, Bob and Mary live at 143 North Alton Road, Somerville. Here's the email address. They give it to me. Great. I found 3 phone numbers. Put in there. Now, because I'm going to put them in there as a potential, let's say, buyer, I already have a smart plan set up for that, a warm buyer. So I'm going to attach a warm buyer to it. Now they're going to get a thank you note from me, a postcard from me. They're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. So now the Smithsteins, they're not ready today. They're not ready tomorrow. They're not ready in March or April or May. They might not be ready till July. Here's what happens though. So you meet them today. You give them a business card. You send them a thank you note. It's January. I got nothing from them. You let them go. Then Joe Kozoh shows up in July. I have the same conversation. Guess what? Did I market to them? No. I just happened to meet them at the time that they want to buy or sell a home. So I'm telling you, that's what's the long plan. For me, the long play is 2025 is to really spend as much time in front of them as possible. Through my videos, through my postcards, through my, the note cards I send, through the emails, through the text messages. I'd rather tell me to go F myself than me just getting information, because at some point in time they might be ready. They really might be ready. So I don't know if that helps you out. If that helps you out. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Any other questions? All right. So listen, Jennifer, you get probably, I don't know if it'll be there in your bank account, $10,000 by later today. If it's not there, just reach out to me. Okay, reach out
Okay.
to me. But I will tell you this though: if you're in the office and you're around one day, I'll take you to lunch. Okay, I'll take you to lunch if you're around. You just got.
I'll
Hey, Joe,
hold you
remember
to
that?
that. I'll be
Yeah,
there. Yep.
I'm perfectly good with that. You just let me
Just be
know where we're at.
careful. Be careful. He doesn't use Monopoly money to pay for the lunch. Okay.
No, no, I use a business credit card. Okay, not a personal credit card, a business, and it's going to be a tax deduction. I can tell you right now. So, so anyway, another thing from a real estate standpoint, just not a tax guy. Make sure that you're paying quarterly taxes. I don't know if you have an accountant or not. Make that a point. And this is a key thing: having your expenses, because take everything for deduction. Everything you can take for deduction. If you're working from home, and some accountants say don't. My accountant said don't for years. Only found out I can actually take a percent. I'm in a loft in my house that's maybe, I don't know what the square footage in my loft area is, but I use that as a deduction. I'll take the deduction in reference to percentage of that here from my utility bills. I'll take that deduction. Why not? I need it. I'm working here, so I don't have a paid space in the office, so I don't have any space in the office. So I mean, that's a kind of a key thing. But really take every deduction possible. I'd rather have Uncle Sam knock on my door and me be able to present all the information and then say, well, which they haven't, And guess what? We're small fish. We're small potatoes. They're not going to come after you for $300 or $500, but they will come after you if you don't pay your taxes every quarter, and they're going to slam you with interest and penalties and everything else. So just be careful about that. Okay. Good. Helpful. Any other questions?
Are you
Okay.
using AI yet for stuff? I mean, I know
You
you
know,
have
there's
automated stuff, but
there's two areas that I'm really weak in. One of them is social media. I went to I was in Atlantic City. I went to two social media classes, and not that I didn't learn anything. I was like, I'm just not energetic for that. And AI, I haven't found a way to gravitate to use it for my business yet. Okay. Some people, I talking to some people that are using it, you have to be cautious about it too, because it can be very ineffective as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the one instructor said he put something on a presentation slide up there, and I had AI do it, and he goes, if it wasn't for, he said, this is how it was when AI presented it, and this is how to change that to make to bring it up to speed, because there's things that it just made assumptions on that are incorrect. Okay,
Hmm.
so but I haven't figured out the AI thing yet, and maybe I'm at the point in my life I'm like, screw that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's me, but
Yeah, I mean, I use
um,
ChatGPT almost every single day, and a
yeah,
couple other AI. But like to Joe's point, you definitely have to be on top. It's not something that's going to be just foolproof, ready for you, completely edited. You don't have to do anything to it. It's
yeah,
always little tweaks that you have to do, whatever the information that it is that it's giving you, and you also have to be careful of the prompts that you're giving it to as well. So there's a lot of gray area there with AI. It's still learning, and people are still learning how to use it.
right.
So it's one of those things that is still still on the up and coming. But so far it's been it gives you great ideas, things you aren't thinking about. It can keep you track as far as your business goes and your goals and help you how to align things in a certain order. It's great for things like that for certain smaller tasks. But as far as actions goes, it doesn't really have many actions that it does. Not yet,
Yeah.
I should say.
I would say this is that Lawrence offered a couple AI classes, because I think
Yeah.
that could be impaired. Get somebody in that could teach AI very effectively.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. That's a good
I,
idea.
I remember
Great
when
idea.
Chat GPT first came out, I went to log on, everything's starting new. And also I got these flashing bells and whistles on my computer. Warning, warning, warning. When I was like, I'm out, I'm done, I'm done. It scared the hell out of me. So, but because I'm thinking, who's tapping in my laptop,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think AI could be a good thing used effectively,
Mhm.
but it's just a matter of understanding that too.
Right,
So,
right. It's another system that has to be learned, and it's also a learning system, which is also still learning. So there's a lot of area there that, can happen on both sides. So,
yeah,
but so far so good. I have another AI I use called Centra. It's like 12 different bots that all specialize in different things that they give you, like one's social media, one's lead generation, one's email marketing, one's social media marketing, like those types of things. So there's different ones that you can use, but as far as actions, like I said, they don't do actions, they give tasks. So they'll tell me, hey, post this. Hey, at this time, make your schedule look like this. Hey, for this, do this. So it's one of those things that's like, giving you things to do for you, but it's not going to do a lot, for
yeah,
itself. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would say like again for me, it'd be a matter of jumping into a couple AI classes to fully understand how I could put it to use for my business
Mm-hmm.
and, how I can use it for my building my 2025 business, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good. All right. All right, guys. Listen, I do appreciate your time. I really do. If I don't see any of you guys, I want to wish you very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope it's a great time for you guys. Focus, take the next week or so, focus a little bit of time on your business, but really spend some time with your family, your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a key thing too, because you can wear yourself out in this business really easy. And if you don't have those outlets with family, friends, neighbors, I think it can make a difference. I'm looking forward to my daughter will be here tomorrow from Boston, so she'll be here for 2 weeks, and so we spend time with her and her dog, and my other daughter lives local, so we have family coming in. So we're looking forward to that too. But in the same respect, I'm still going to work, but I'm working at a different level come the next week or so. An enjoyable level. I could do a few things and still get away, because that's the beauty of this business. And if it turns to be 55 degrees out, I'm on a golf course. It's that simple. All right, guys. All right, thanks for your time. Enjoy your
Thank
week,
you,
okay?
Joe. You were terrific.
Thanks, Joe. Have a
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Thank
Yep,
you.
Happy holidays.
Thanks a lot, guys, for
Thank
you,
jumping
Joe.
on. All of you have a Merry Christmas as well. I hope to see you around the office very soon. Have a great one.
Thank you
You
so much.
well.
Right.
All right.